and we say,
all right, it is Friday. Let me just double check the audio to make sure everything is working. Okay, today we got a property. We got a property in Hazelwood, Missouri. Hazelwood, Missouri is just outside of St. Louis. And what caught my eye today was just how low the purchase price was for this property. So it's gonna be interesting. You can see here that St. Louis is right here. Generally, I've been advised to stay out of this little North County area. So I stay out here all the way in the burbs of St. Louis, probably about 20, 30 minutes outside of downtown St. Louis. So what I like to do here is quickly understand how does my neighborhood look like. Now, this looks like a pretty typical multi-family neighborhood, bunch of townhomes. It's also right next to a hospital, so I kind of like that. So as we kind of go on, I kind of just try to understand what the condition of the property is. Condo floor looks like it's doing great. Kitchen looks like it's great. Like I think there's really much renovation that needs to happen for this property. The carpet, yeah, you could replace it, but it doesn't look that bad. It looks like it's actually pretty good shape. So you might be able to not have to renovate the carpet for at least one turn. So this could be one of those properties where your entry is very, very minimal for the most part. It's a 3-bed, 1-bath, 1,000 square feet. And I like that it's a $65,000. So let's see what it can result in. Now, the only downside for this property is that it's a $215 monthly HOA fee. For the $215 HOA fee, that's pretty hefty considering what the purchase price is for this property. So if I analyze this property and it looks like it might be an interesting deal, I'm going to have to find out what this HOA fee includes. Does it include water? Because maybe I can potentially get additional water utility or payment that can kind of stack onto the HOA fee and get some reimbursements back from the county. So what you want to note down here is a property tax 47, homeowner insurance is 48. So I'm going to note these numbers down when I plug them into the spreadsheet. All right. Next thing we want to do is we want to get the fair market rents, the HUD FMR. So when you Google HUD FMR, you can kind of come to this page on top of the first link and you look up FY 2024 FMRs. FMR stands for fair market rents. And typically, this is usually the ceiling rents that you can get for a property here. And it's going to give you by zip code, by bedroom count, what your property can potentially rent for. I like that this one says 1480. So I'm going to note that one down, that the FMR for this property is 1480. And I'm not changing any sort of bedroom counter because it looks like it's pretty fixed. It's not like there's a garage here where I can convert this into an additional bedroom. So I'm going to assume 1480 is my ceiling rent. Next thing I want to do is grab my market rent. So I'm going to go to affordablehousing.com. I can go to the owner section, go to the market rent estimator and plug in the address here and I'll get my 3 bedrooms. You can see here that one, there are 23 units within a 0.22 mile radius that's renting out for $1,214. All right, that's not bad. That is $200 less than what a ceiling looks like, but it at least gives me some semblance that, hey, if I were to underwrite this property, I would probably underwrite it at $1,214 for now as my bottom case scenario. And that is because the housing authority has a test. It's called the rent reasonableness test. And a rent reasonableness test means that even though the fair market rent is $1,480, you cannot charge a higher rent to a tenant simply because they are a voucher holder for the obvious reasons, right? So I'm going to assume that my bottom case scenario is 1214. And today I'm going to use 1214 as one of my underwriting scenarios. And the other one is that I'm going to use 90% of the ceiling, which is 0.9 times 1480. And that's going to equals to 1332 for my gross rent assumptions. Okay. Now, as I go through the photos, I'm going to assume that I don't really need much. I might just put in a little bit of budget to have on the reserve side just in case there's something that pops up to paint the place, but it looks like it's in pretty good shape. So I'm going to assume that I'm going to paint the place for $3 a square foot, 1,000 square feet. And that's pretty much it. When I go to tophab.com, this area is in a crime index where the crime index score is 115. I didn't really notice that many big things around it. You never know if it's because it's by zip code or it's by neighborhood. But for the most part, this looks like just a multifamily area. So I'm gonna assume that it's in a solid area. I can always ask a realtor to kind of go out there and double check on the neighborhood for me and do a quick drive by. But this is kind of right on the border across the highway, and it's right next to Florissant, which is a market that I've been looking at quite often. So from this point onwards, I am going to stop sharing the screen and I'm gonna start sharing the Excel file so I can keep things looking pretty smooth. And for those folks that are looking at this from Instagram, please make sure you guys are able to go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Kent_HG, and you can see the full screen version. All right, so let's plug in some numbers here. The property was $65,000 purchase price, okay? Let me go plug in a renovation. So if you remember, I was going to say that this property is 1,000 square feet. I'm going to assume that I'm going to have $3 a square foot to paint the entire place. And I don't think I need to do much of landscaping outside because that must be included with HOA fee. I'm also assuming that the HOA also covers any expenses for the roof repair. So I have that for $1,500, but I'm not going to include that here like I've been doing for other properties because my HOA should cover all those items. I don't think I need to do anything else here, and I'm going to keep on going down. I'm not adding extra bedroom. I don't have anything else. I don't think I need a new water heater for this property, and because it looks like it was just recently inhabited and might have just been turned vacant. So I have roughly around, let's see, where's my other $1,000 coming from? I want to make sure that 3,000. I'm going to zero this one out. Boom. 0 times 1,000. And that's how I get back to zero. So right now my renovation budget is 3,600. And I'm going to make that equals back to 3,600. So it kind of comes back down. All right, cool. So at 3,600, right now we have 1,214 for our rent assumptions, which is what we got from the market rents from the affordablehousing.com. And then we have $47 for our property taxes. Our homeowner insurance is $48. So I want to do equals 48 times 1.2. That's going to equals to $57.60. So I'm increasing the insurance slightly because it's going to be a rental property. I have 10% for my maintenance, which is $121. I have an HOA fee of $215. I have my property management at 8%, and I got 3% for my vacancy. This all results in approximately, assuming I have a 25% down using a 8.5% DSCR loan, which is what I'm guessing. Let me kind of put in this is 1/1/2024, just so I can get the. Thank you so much. 2023. There we go. 12/1/2023. That's when to start. This right now is a 7.09% cash and cash return, 7.1. And I'm going to cash flow approximately $127 a month, assuming a purchase price of $65,000 and my rehab is $3,600. Great. Cool. Well, what if I'm able to get a higher rent at 1332? Does that make this a deal? 1332. At 1332, this now gets me to a 12.3% cash and cash return. And my cash flow now is $220, even though I'm purchasing for the same $65,000. So this might be worth me giving a call to housing authority now and say, hey, I got this property. Do they assume any amenities? Do they assume any sort of utility reimbursements? Because now this could turn into a borderline deal, right? So this is a borderline deal. All right. Well, what if I got a cheaper purchase price? Even if I got a 1332 rent and I'm able to get a lower purchase price, what can make this into a 15 or 17% return? If I bought this property for 55 grand, what does that make this equal? 55 grand. Oh, great. $60,000. 58. All right, cool. So this will make a deal. So at $58,000, my rehab would be 3,600. My cash flow now would be 281 after all those adjustments, and my return will be 17.3. So I'm gonna call my realtor and I'll see, hey, whether or not I can get this property for like 58. I might start with 55 to be honest with you and kind of come up there. But if I can get a rent for 1332, that seems like a potential deal to me based off of what I'm seeing over here. So those are pretty favorable numbers. And this isn't that far off from what they're being listed at. So I'll give a call later and I will see whether or not the realtor will take an offer for $58,000. And that means that it's a total output of about 19,550. Amazing. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening in. Today, all we're doing is just analyzing deals together. I do this every single day. I go live for our affordable housing and real estate investing community. I am a developer full time, but I still do single family homes because I think this is the type of asset class that most people resonate with. I think one of the biggest reasons that I see that people do not. Oh, hold up. Let me delete that. Now these are really slamming deals because I put in an extra payment in here. All right, now this is going to be interesting. All right, now I definitely have to give a call to this because this seems definitely like a good deal. All right, so I'm gonna go try to call this owner or this realtor and see what offers that they are willing to accept for this deal. So have an amazing day, everybody. I go live every day. This is not a solicitation for any sort of investments. This is simply me doing the work every single day, analyzing deals and building the habit up. Because if you just spend 18 minutes a day doing one thing and getting better at that one thing, you will be better than 95% of America at that one thing. So 18 minutes a day is all you need. So I hope you guys will just take these properties. You guys will analyze the deals with me and you guys will be able to get really good at this, better than 95%. And then eventually maybe you have investors one day, they'll say, hey, how do you know this is a deal? And you can go back and show them all the properties that you have analyzed alongside me, put it on your own YouTube channel with the same spreadsheet and put it on your same calculator. And tell them, hey, I know this is a deal because I have looked at the past 100 deals and they were all not deals until I saw this one. And that's one way you can potentially raise capital. Now, again, this is not a solicitation for investments. This is purely for information and entertainment purposes only. But I really love all of you guys. Thank you so much for your support. And we'll do this again tomorrow. Have an amazing day, everybody.